What is the best horror movie of the 80s? The options are The Shining, The Thing, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Evil Dead. Nightmare on Elm Street took the win at 37%. And I think I would have to agree that is probably outside of Child's Play. But The Shining was really good. The Shining was even all these are actually pretty good movies. The Thing was really good. Evil Dead 2 is pretty good. But I think for me personally, I'm a fan of the slasher genre. So by default, I love slasher movies. So I'm going to go with Nightmare on Elm Street, even though I think The Shining is a really good movie. Even Evil Dead was a really good movie too. All of these are good movies.
I'm gonna go with Evil Dead, just because that it was really gory. I think I'm gonna go with Evil Dead because it's really gory, and the fact that it genuinely scared me, and it ushered in some pretty good sequels, and in a TV show that's going on right now, right?
I think
Ash
so.
versus Evil Dead or whatever it is,
something like that.
So.
Yeah, it's one of those, and it was directed by Tom. I think Tom Holland directed Evil Dead 2, and he went on to direct Child's Play as well, the original Child's Play. So shout out to him.
You said Tom Holland?
Tom Holland. Yeah, it's not Spider-Man.
Let me wait.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
He wasn't even born yet. Let me see.
He wasn't even alive.
Yeah, shit. Neither was I. Hold on, let me see if it was Tom Holland, because I know Sam Raimi did Evil Dead 2, so he did Spider-Man. That's what the mix-up is. Sam Raimi directed Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
And he also went on to direct Spider-Man. So that's where that came from.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's a Sam Raimi.
Okay. Because Evil Dead. There was Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and then there was the remake of Evil Dead, and then Ash versus Evil Dead.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Now I need to know what the hell Tom Holland. I know Tom Holland directed the original Child's Play. I'll get to figure it out later. But so you go with Evil Dead. That's a good one. I mean, that was a tough one, to be honest. Those are pretty good. But for the 90s, which is the best horror movie of the 90s? The options are, what is it? The Silence of the Lambs, Scream, Seven, and The Sixth Sense. Scream won 44%. I think Scream, I don't know if it's the best, but it's definitely the most popular. I personally, the Silence of the Lambs always freaked me out. But I'm gonna go with Scream just because it's the movie. Like I said, I'm biased when it comes to slasher movies, so I'm going to go with Scream.
What was the other one besides?
You got the Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, Seven?
Yeah, Seven with was it Brad Pitt? Is that him?
Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Yeah. Damn,
old girl. I can't remember her name.
He's getting
old. Kevin Spacey's in that movie too.
Yeah,
but he will probably never be in another movie again. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oof. Anyway, so for me, as far as like the scariest, or just the one that I like the most,
it says the question is, what is the best horror movie of the 90s?
Oh, the best. First on my opinion, I'll probably go with Silence of the Lamb. I just think it's because of that whole like psychological thing, and the fact that Hannibal really isn't the villain in Silence of the Lamb, but he's still kind of like treated like it, and he's kind of like trying to get Clarice to kind of think outside the box and kind of direct her into
Clarice.
Give her clues as to who or what could be, killing off, the young girls. And it just had like some of the weirder scenes, like it puts lotion on his skin.
Just about to say the way he was like sucking his. What was he doing? I can't even do this shit, bro. What the fuck was he doing, bro? Hello, Clarice.
But could you imagine if someone like that well, I mean, probably have been people in history that existed like
Mm-hmm.
that, but like skinning people alive and then wearing their skin like a fur coat, that's freaking weird.
Bro, people do some fucked up shit, bro. Like
Man.
I wouldn't be surprised if that stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure that shit really happened somewhere. Yeah.
Man.
The '90s were weird for horror movies, man. It was a weird decade for horror movies. I think horror movies were trying to redefine themselves. Going from the '70s and '80s, I think they were just trying to find their footing, and I think yeah, I just think it was a weird era in general, like for everything. When the '90s have that nostalgic vibe, bro. Like everything about the '90s is like everyone was trying to, everything in entertainment was trying to find themselves. Because you can listen to music, it's from the '90s, all genres. You can all the movies got a '90s vibe. You know, a movie was made in the '90s, bro. It just has that vibe to it. It's like really hard to explain.
Distinct sounds, distinct like lingo, distinct style. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the 90s was a real interesting decade. And the thing is this, you could kind of separate the 90s into certain parts and it'll give you like certain sounds. It'll give you like certain style. It'll give you like certain, just a whole look, like from basically like the beginning, middle, and end of it. There's just all kind of differences to where if you were to quote unquote go back in time, you would not know what part of the 90s you are because it's just so different throughout that whole decade.